So we do have our first test on Tuesday. Let's see. I handed out the test review on this past Tuesday, but does anybody who didn't get a copy of it? Does anybody need a copy of it? I have 3 left if anybody needs one. Does anybody need a copy of the formula sheet with the conversion factors on it? Anybody need that? All right. Let's see. Does anybody have questions about the review? Yes, ma'am. Number 3. Number 2. Let's see. All right. I didn't see anything. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll try that. Usually it's not that bad.
Oh, yeah, some things. Can you dim the light maybe? Or turn the light?
Well, okay. Well, there's that. All right. I think the light on the camera was actually making it worse. Okay. All right, so number 2. Okay, so in that case, we're just estimating. So just round, $8.95, just round that to $9. And $19.95, just round that to $20. Okay. And then it's asking, basically estimate the least amount spent on calculators. So you want to give the lowest, basically the lowest possible estimate. So 4 people ordered the $20 calculator, so you have that. And then, let's see, the least expensive was $8.95. And the most expensive was $39.95. So if you want to give the lowest possible estimate, you're just going to assume only one person ordered the $40 calculator. And then you've got 4 people ordered a $20 calculator, and then go ahead and assume that everyone else that's left got the cheapest one. Do you need a copy of the test review? Yeah, but I mean, I have copies if you want. Because you weren't here, were you here last time? Yeah. There you go.
So you said 1% will be the 39 or the $9.95? You said that?
Yeah, so if we want the lowest possible estimate, then just assume that only one person ordered that most expensive one.
So you just assume that, like. 'cause
Yeah.
because, like Ford, like, I wouldn't have think that because like Ford ordered the 1995
Mhm.
and there's 10 people,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not like saying if the person ordered the 39 or the rest of the people ordered the 895.
Yeah, so it's not telling you exactly all the information. So you're not going to get an exact answer, but that's why it's just telling you to estimate. Just using the information that you have. So yeah, it's not giving you all the information.
So you would just assume that there's just one of the 49.
Mhm. Right, because they want you to give like the lowest possible estimate you can. So assume only one person got the most expensive calculator. All right. I'll go ahead and do the attendance. All right, Joshua, Cole, Eileen, Jay,
Here.
Carly, Alana,
Here.
Morgan is not here, Brooklyn, Lencia, Connor, Alicia,
Here.
Christian is not here, William, Elizabeth, Caleb. All right. Okay, what's up?
This one.
Which one? For number 2?
Mhm.
Yeah, so right before you came in, I was telling him just basically round those dollar, like to the nearest dollar. Yeah. Mhm.
And then you said because they don't give us the exact number for the least amount and the most expensive, like how many people did that, and so we just assume it's one.
Yeah, because you want to give they're asking you what's the least possible amount, basically. So with that information, the least amount, you would assume only one person got the expensive one and then everybody else got the cheap one.
And for number 3, how would you work this out since it says the number of weeks in a year to 50?
Okay, so you want to estimate the annual income. So, yeah, so they want you to just use 50 as the number instead of, even though there's really 52, but we're just estimating. So that's why they're saying just round it to 50 to make it like a simpler calculation. So still use 40 hours in a week, and then they have $9.89 an hour. So just round that to $10.
I multiplied the hours times the 50 weeks, and then I multiplied the answer for that, for the $10. I would do.
Mm-hmm.
Is this 1.3 or what is it?
This is the review. You were here last time, right? Okay. See. Yes.
Page number 4.
So you could probably round that to 300 million. Again, so they're just wanting you to estimate, so you just want to round that. And then, let's see. Who define old age by a decline in physical ability. So that shows 41%. So let's say you just round that to 40%.
Would you like divide it by?
So then you basically you want to figure out 40% of 300 million. So you would change 40% to 0.4, and then you would just multiply that by 300 million.
But how do you do that with a calculator?
Because 4 times 3 is 12, and then everything else is just all the zeros.
Number 5 is the left, the amount. I can't really see.
Yeah, I know it's really hard to see. I was trying to. So yeah, the one on the left is the male. That's right. I'm trying to see if I can find a picture of it that we can see more easily. All right, I found the original copy of that graph so we can get a better look at it.
you want a formula sheet or do you? I was trying to figure out, because I knew this answer was right, so I was looking back at how you got the answer. And what I did,
Which one, number 2?
So I have almost like a 90 to 20 to 9, 40.
Mm-hmm.
So it says estimate the least amount, so you should assume that only one person got the 40, and then like the rest of the people got the 2 more.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll provide it. Yeah. Do you want one of those? Okay.
Yes, so I will provide that. I mean, because if you can't write, you can't have it if you have like written stuff on it. So, but I'll just, provide it for you. Okay, so this is the graph for number 5. So you might want to work on that problem. And make sure you can see the information that you need from the graph. Yes.
So on number 7, one row.
Uh-huh.
There's one of the, I don't know if it was some of our notes or and we have like together with some people.
Mm-hmm.
Is this one here with just one person or 2?
Well, how many people do you need to make a handshake? Yeah. All right. Other questions about the test review? It's okay. I'm not in a hurry. Just let me know if you have a question. I have my completed notes from the past 2 classes from chapter 9. I don't need these. Of course, you can always look them up on Canvas or, and if you want, you can print them out for yourself also.
Did you ever see what I'm talking about on my Facebook?
Like, what was it? I forgot. Okay.
So you remember last year how they would have, our homework and then I had the.
Oh, you mean because
date?
there's no due dates?
There's no.
Oh, yeah, that's
So when
just
I'm
because I
looking-
have to put them on there.
Oh, okay. But I'm still trying to like follow the course outline.
Mhm.
And like trying to, but I know how it, the numbers aren't in order sometimes.
Yes, because, we did chapter 1 and then we did chapter 9. So you need to do the chapter 1 homework and then you need to do the chapter 9 homework. And I think I'll take a look at it.
And then the due time is still before, our class period.
We'll see. I just need to set it up. Don't worry about it right now.
Okay.
This is how I set this up.
So 40 hours a week, $10 an hour, and 50 weeks in a year. So this is just basically, so if you wanted to know like how much money, if you work 40 hours in a week and you make $10 an hour and you want to figure out how much money you made that week, what would you do?
If you want to find out how much money you made that week,
Yeah.
you make $10 an hour,
Yeah.
times the hours
Mm-hmm.
by the days of the week.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah.
And then obviously the amount of hours you work that every day.
Yeah. So you worked 40
Okay.
hours in a week and you make $10 an hour. So how much money did you make in that week?
Just times it.
Mm-hmm. Right. Exactly. And then, so that would tell you how much money you made in a week. And then you have 50 weeks that you worked. So you would just
Just times
then,
that then.
mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
That's all it is.
Is the test, the quiz on Miles Plus?
So on Tuesday, we're gonna have a test in this room. It's gonna be on paper. So there's really no quizzes. I normally do quizzes in class, but because of COVID, I'm not. And so it's just gonna be the tests. On the homework, you have your homework assignments, you have these assignments called mastery assignments. And I guess it's sort of similar to a quiz, but let's see. Because I've got them all on there when you look on MyLabs Plus, they're already in the right order.
Okay.
So if you just go down the line,
So everything on Miles Plus will do this semester, right?
Yes. So before there was a bunch of like unnecessary junk, but I already took all that off. So everything that you see on there is what you need to do. Yeah.
Do they have due dates on them?
No, I haven't put them on yet. How about I do that right now? Yeah, see, they have us come up here for the week before school so we can prepare for our classes, but they don't give us access to MyLabs Plus, so we can't really do anything in MyLabs Plus while we're supposed to be preparing for the semester. We didn't have access to that until like Thursday night. And then I had to go out of town for the entire weekend. So I never had time to do it before semester started, so sorry.
On number 9, when you first converting 7 inches to feet, do you want us to leave it as decimal?
Yes, let's see. So I will let me see if I have instructions in here. I guess I didn't put instructions on here, but on the actual test, it will state it might be at how you have these instructions at the beginning. It'll probably say in here, round all of your answers to the nearest whatever, or above the problem, it'll say somewhere on there, round it to whatever. And so, yeah. So yeah, so chapter 1 should have already been due like on Tuesday, but I mean, I can't set the due date in the past at this point, so I'll just set it for like today or tomorrow or something. Hopefully y'all already did it. Y'all should have. Let's see.
And the score that it says like the percentage on there, that's the one we got, like that's the memory got.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's only, I mean, it doesn't really mean a whole lot at this point, but I'll eventually, like, once you, after y'all take your test, I'll actually like update all your grades and put it on Canvas. And then that'll be like your official like average. Yeah.
Is the average that's on there right now still our average?
It's just the average of whichever homeworks you've already done, I think. So. All right, so officially the chapter 1 homework is due tonight at midnight, which hopefully you've already did it. And then chapter 9 is going to be due on, let's see. It's going to be due on Tuesday before class. And then, yeah, so going forward, the homework assignments will always be due at 9:20 a.m. Yes, ma'am.
Are we still going over the review or
If anybody has any other questions, then I'm ready to hear them. Does anybody have any other questions? Okay, what's up?
And then number 8, what did you ask me? How did you get
So Cora decided to ride her bike from her home to visit her friend Nick. 3 miles away from home, her bike chain broke and she had to walk the remaining 1 mile to Nick's home. She couldn't repair the chain and had to walk all the way back home. How many more miles did Cora walk than she rode? Okay, so how many miles did she ride her bike for?
3?
Mm-hmm. And how many miles did she walk for?
1.
Okay, well,
Oh, yeah, it's going back.
so how many total miles did she walk?
Well, 5.
Mm-hmm. So she rode 3 and she walked 5.
Okay. And then also for number 7,
Mm-hmm.
how'd you get 5? Like, how'd you do 6 times 5?
So if you have a group of 6 people, and so if you're gonna like see how many handshakes there are, well, so there's 6. You're gonna have 2 people involved in the handshake. So the first person involved in the handshake would be, there's 6 options for who that person is. And then you're not going to shake hands with yourself. So you have 5 options for who that first person is going to shake hands with. So that's 6 times 5. And then you divide that by 2 because it's like, so if you don't divide it by 2, then you're counting like, okay, Melvin shakes Katie's hand is one thing, and then Katie shakes Melvin's hand is a different thing, but really it's the same. So that's why you're dividing it by 2.
number 8, how come it's not 3 miles? Because it says she walks the remaining 1 mile to his house because after her bike broke.
Right, so how many miles did she ride her bike?
3.
3. And how many total miles did she walk?
I thought it was 6, but maybe I just read it wrong. It was just 4. Never mind.
Mm-hmm.
I get it now. I just read it wrong.
Well, actually, the number of miles where she walked was 5.
Yeah, but I was just thinking about
'Cause
the
the
miles from her house to his house.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm.
And this is due Tuesday?
The review is not due at all. It's
Oh,
just,
for practice.
yeah. Yeah, all the solutions are on Canvas. So, okay.
Number 9D, what does HM mean?
HM means hectometers,
Oh, hectometers, and then also what does CG mean?
centigrams.
Oh, centigrams.
So that's all, yeah, so the metric system, the metric system, it applies to liters, meters, and grams. And so you've got all those prefixes that can be applied to any of those units, You've got all the King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk, and any of those can apply to, liters, meters, or grams.
On the converter, like Fahrenheit to Celsius and the other way.
Mm-hmm.
What did you say the difference between them was? 9?
Well, so if you've got the formula on your formula sheet. So on your all those conversion factors, if you look at it, basically the very last one is actually it says temperature.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there's your formula.
Okay.
Okay, all the due dates are there now.
So, is the gram like in the meter spot on there?
Right, right. So when you say King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk, like by stands for basic unit. So the basic unit will either be meters, liters, or grams. Mhm.
And what about number 12, like with the square? I had squared it and I also didn't square it, so like I got both answers to see, but like none of them were right.
Okay. So remember we talked about all right. So remember we talked about, okay, let's say this is a square yard, right? So if this is 1 square yard, meaning the length of each side of this square is 1 yard. And then if we break that yard into feet, there's 3 feet in a yard. All right, so each one of those small squares is a square foot, right? So how many square feet are in a square yard? 9, okay? So 1 square yard equals 9 square feet, okay? So we know that 1 yard equals 3 feet. Okay, so how do I go from this equation to this equation? Well, I would square both sides of the equation. Okay, so for example, let's say that you're asked for, oh, you can't see, I'm sorry. Thank you for telling me. Oh, and that color, is that color too hard to see? Okay. All right. So let's say if they ask you, let's say you have 2 square yards and they want you to convert that to square feet. Okay. So how many square feet are in 2 square yards? So there are 9 square feet in 1 square yard, right? So how many square feet are in 2?
18.
Right. So, and so you did that by multiplying 2 times 9, right?
So it's basically cube, not square.
It's squared because you did, so you could write it out this way. Okay, so here's my yard squared. I know 1 yard squared equals 9 feet squared. So 2 times 9. Okay, so if you're given this problem right here, what number are you squaring in this problem? Not this. Some people mess up because they squared this number. This number is basically already squared. It's saying you have 2 squares, 2 square yards. So, so does that help? You think that will help you?
Yeah.
So you said we wanted to like have like a little study group, that we just set that on ourselves.
You can do it right now. You could either have a study group right now, or you could say, hey guys, does anybody want to have a study group later?
Yeah, so I'm not gonna do that and be like, quiet. Somebody else can suggest it.
I think he wants to have a study group, guys, so.
Is this whole class like gonna be like word problems and stuff?
There are a lot of word problems. That is kind of the gist of this class, is like math that you can apply to like real life situations. And so that's why, yeah, there's a lot of word problems, application type.
It's such a word problem.
But there's other stuff. So like actually the next two chapters have like, it's like totally different. It's not really like word problems. It's going to be something you've probably never heard of before. It's totally different, but it's going to be so much fun.
Oh.
Yeah, next couple weeks is going to be way fun.
Anytime I got teacher says it's fine.
If anyone wants to do it, I'm gonna put people in a group chat. Whoever wants to do it.
So I don't feel like these are right just because of decimals.
That's not necessarily.
You stay on campus? You wanna do it? Okay.
I do. Probably choosing to-
Looks good. Yeah.
Okay, and then I had these ones too. I did. I just skipped through some of them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we already went over those ones, but this
Anyone
one.
wanna do it? You wanna do it?
Okay, so this many miles and then
You say you
24 miles per gallon. So,
You did. You wanna do it?
yeah, okay, that looks good.
Oh, really?
That's right. I think that's right, yeah.
You wanna do it?
And you can also check your answers on Canvas. All the solutions are on there under modules, and go on test reviews and you can see all the answers
Wait, for what?
for the test review.
Oh, okay. I was about to say.
No, I'm not gonna put all the test answers.
Oh, okay.
Is what we're doing today, the test read.
Mhm.
So if I don't have any questions about it, can I go?
Sure.
Okay, thank you very much.
Did you actually do, number 5, or did you just pull it up? I'm a step.
Which one is that? The one
With
that's,
the chart.
okay.
I
Okay.
feel like it's really, really easy, but it's something I'm not understanding.
There's one on the notes. Let's look at my beautiful notes I gave you. Oh wait, that's chapter 9, that's not gonna help. It's on 1.3. Maybe it's 1.2. Yeah, I think it's 1.2. All right, there we go. So it's real similar to this one from 1.2. Oh, sorry, I'm on the wrong thing. Number 7 from 1.2. So they wanted to know, yeah. So they wanted to know like the average like yearly increase. So I just took that number and minus that number and then divide by the number of years.
Are we good to go if we don't have any more questions on it?
Sure.
And this is,
Do you have another question?
mine was just, number 13, for the conversion to gallons. The
Okay.
cube, just the last one. And I went to the answer.
So, okay. The conversion factor. All right. So it says that 1 cubic foot equals 7.48 gallons. So in that case, you don't actually need to cube anything.
I don't.
No, because that is already telling you a cubic foot equals that many gallons.
Oh, okay.
So that's, yeah. So, what we were talking about before is like if you have, 1 yard equals 3 feet and you need to change that to like a squared or a cubed, but this one's already given in terms of cubic.
Would 7 just be 36? Would it just be 26?
No, it's not 36.
Would it be, so how would that, is it like in every single order or something?
Yeah, basically like every possible combination of 2 people. So, if you're gonna like see how many possible handshakes there are.
So is it like Melvin to go to Katie first, or Melvin to go to Sam first, or like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so it's like, okay, so how many possibilities are there for the first person who's involved in the handshake? There's 6.
Yeah.
And then once you pick that person, how many people are left to choose from? 5. So 6 times 5 would basically.
Okay. So I was on the right track, so if I put 6.
Yeah, because a person's not shaking hands with themselves.
Exactly.
But also, you also have to divide it by 2 because if you don't, then you're counting like, okay, if Melvin shakes Katie's hand and Katie shakes Melvin's hand, well, those are actually the same thing. So that's why you divide it by 2.
So 15?
Yep.
15.
Mhm.
Do you want us to round?
Yeah, like on the test, it'll tell you probably round it to like 4 decimal places or something like that.
This is round to the nearest
Okay.
of a year, but I'm saying as far as. like,
Which problem are you on?
I'm still on the
Okay.
but it says 75.6. So then I just round it to 75 and then.
So it says round to the nearest 100. Is that what it says? I don't see where it says that. Where does it say that?
A.
5A. Okay. So if your answer is 75.2 and it says round to the nearest 100, then you just, oh.
How I see it right here, the last, like the last, number.
Yeah.
But I just subtracted like that.
Yeah.
I don't have to round it.
No, you would just round it at when you get to the final answer.
What grade are you on?
Bye, see ya. I don't know why everyone's giving me their student ID number. I said, I need your name and what class you're in, but they're just giving me their name and their student ID number. Like, I don't care what student ID number is. I would like to know what class you're in, though. If you want to know what homework you gotta do and stuff.
I don't think a lot of people took learning frameworks. I think that should be required.
Yes.
Because I
Yes.
was in there and I was saying, like, I have to be in here, like, I know all of this.
Mhm.
But, yeah, a lot of people, you'll be surprised. So if they start showing like examples from people here,
Mhm.
oh, but they did not email the teacher that. Hey, oh, we can't do that. They're like, hey, what do we do? And it was like the first name. And I was like, okay, well, maybe some people do make this better. But I get what y'all go through sometimes. Like even my friends, like they'll call me like, hey, how do I email people? I'm like, just send it to me. Just send me information. Please don't embarrass yourself.
So what if it was like, what if it was like 5 people instead of 6 on that one?
Okay, what if? What would you do?
Well, see, because you wouldn't be able to divide that by 2.
Yes, you would.
How? Because if it's 5 people, because the only reason you're not dividing, the only reason you're dividing by 2 is so you don't come in contact with that same person.
Well, yeah, the reason you're dividing it by 2 is because if you don't, then you're considering like me shake hands with you and then you shake hands with me. That's really the same thing, right? But if you don't, so that's why you're dividing it by 2.
Mm.
But you can still, so if it was 5 people, then what would it be?
So, like, what do you mean?
Like if you, instead of, like you said, instead of 6 people, what if it was 5 people? Then what would your answer be? It's real easy if you know it, once you know what to do. Huh?
You divide it by 2.
Well, no, it would be 5 times 4 and then divide by 2.
I'll keep on adding that other person.
Mhm.
Yeah. But you already know. So a bunch of notes we already have.
Mhm.
Well, I got them all the way to like all the drawings.
Yes, and y'all have calculators?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
Make
love
sure,
them.
I should have reminded everybody that they need to have their calculator.
Are we allowed to have like anything on the test, like no cards or anything?
No, I'm gonna give you this
And
But
then
that's-
activities like that?
and then your calculator. Mhm.
Okay, good, good, yeah. I need that.
So that's another line again.
Mhm.
This is number 3. I don't know where I just did it. And it's gonna be together.
I think that's right.
And then I just divide it like that.
And you can use your calculator.
I was trying to, do it so long without it.
So most of the homework is gonna be on Tuesdays.
Tuesdays and Thursdays. Yeah, almost every Tuesday and Thursday you have homework due before the class.
We don't have homework this year,
That's true. Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, so like you won't have anything due. So all the chapter 1 homework is due, should have been due like Tuesday morning, but since I never put the due date on there, I made it due tonight by midnight.
Yeah, well, could I redo that? Because I got a bad grade on one. Well, not a bad grade, like,
Yeah, you can always redo it. Like all you have to do is like, when you get the question wrong, you just click similar exercise and you just redo it.
I did that, but it didn't go up no more. Because I got it right.
It should, I mean, you should be able to still get 100 on it,
Really?
yeah.
Because it had like an X in it, check, like when I
That
returned.
means you need to go back and do another one.
You still need to do a similar exercise. If it has an X and a check, that means
it.
it,
Had an X until I did it right, and then I had to check in.
well,
Did they
okay,
give a two-part question?
yeah.
Mm,
If
If
it's a two-part question, you got one of them right and one wrong. You
Mhm.
gotta go back and do like the whole problem.
Yep, what she said.
so.
Yeah.
But I feel like you don't need it. I did it like a couple times, yeah, but it went up barely. I'm like, oh man.
Mm,
I'll take way more time on that than I needed to. Yeah, have a good day.
Bye.
If I'm not mistaken, it's decimal, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000.
Uh-huh.
So my 100th place is 3, and the number following is 2. Do I just change it to 0, or do I
The
keep it as a
three,
3?
the 3 is still a 3.
Okay.
And then that's your last digit.
So it turned out to be like 5.23 as the increased life expectancy.
Okay. My computer, my personal computer that I always use, it died the other day. So I gotta get a new one. Finally. It was pretty bad. I had it for like 4 years. And like my son knocked it on the floor and it cracked the screen. So